guys, and welcome to this video. And in this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how I got to solve the problem that I was facing with this hold button right here. Okay, I believe you can see my screen right here. You know, when I started coding this, when I started trying to follow a particular tutorial that I had gotten from a friend, a Udemy tutorial on how to code JavaScript, one of the games that we had to build as a project while going through the course was to build up this game, this PIG game. The game is always called the PIG game. All right, you can see the name I gave to the file somewhere around here. Okay, I don't think it's here, but I called it the PIG game. All right, it's called the PIG game. Actually, the game is played in a way that I'm going to show you how it's played. There are two players actually, so you get to click this roll dice button, and then when this player, let me refresh it, when it's on this player's turn, you can see the background is somehow gray. When you click on this roll dice button, a dice is reading. All right, you know, a dice has 6 sides, so we have a range of 1 to 6 as the numbers that can be chosen. Okay, and when a number is chosen here, this is the dice right here in the middle. When a number is chosen, the number adds up to show up here. Alright, so when player 1 is clicking the roll dice, the dice keep rolling and bringing up random numbers from 1 to 6, and the number that is bringing up gets added up here. Alright, so the player can choose to hold the number that he has here by clicking on this hold game, and when he clicks it, the numbers that he has here that have added up will come down to this place, and this is the main score section. Alright, but if the player chooses to continue playing or rolling the dice, if the dice hits a 1, all the numbers here disappears. All right, same thing applies to player 2. So my problem while I was trying to code this particular game was that whenever I tried to code the hold game button, it was very difficult. All right, it was very difficult because the numbers that is up here that's supposed to come down here gets to appear on both sides, or it will appear on this side, and then when player 2 is playing, you get to see that the number that comes up here does not come down. Alright, so for you to have stumbled on this video, you must have faced this problem a couple of times, and I want to give you the option or the way that I used to solve it so that you can try it out on your own side and see if it works for you. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my VS Code and show you exactly what I did. So this is basically JavaScript. So I'm not going to be focusing on the HTML or CSS or all that. I'm going to be focusing on the JavaScript. So here's what I did. In most of the tutorials out there, you will get to see that the player 1 and player 2, when it comes to their common score, which is the one down here, which is their main score, sorry, which is the one down here and one down here. All right, most videos and most tutorials you will see out there will do it in a way that you will have let me show you. You will have scores equal to, and then they will use an array of that looks like this. All right, and then the player 1 will have this first number here, and then the player 2 will have the second number in this array. All right, so when you do this, then when you want to effect, like when you want to bring the score, please follow me. I know I'm fast, but you can watch this video later on. All right, so when you want to bring the score down here, down to this place, the first character in that array will take care of the player 1. The second character in that array will take care of the player 2, and that's how they did it. All right, so that means you see we have player 1 and player 2, but in my game I have, in most games you will see that they have player 0 and player 1, but in my game I chose player 1 and player 2. That is why you can see the default player here is 1. So when it is player 1 takes this first value as its main score. When it is player 2, it takes the second value as its main score. If you have been trying to solve this problem, you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so what I did was that I tried using this method, but it did not work for me. It took me over 24 hours, I think over 48 hours to solve this problem. So here's what I did. I had to take out this option, and then I specified the main score for each of the players. Alright, you can see the main score for player 1 is this one here, and I call this 0. The main score for player 2 is this one here, and I call this 0. And then using this particular main scores now I brought it down here. Okay, now I specified it individually. Okay, you know there are two players. It's either player 1 is playing or it's player 2 that is playing. All right, so I said if the active player is player 1, then let the first main score take action. All right, So the first main score will add to the normal dice score recorder, which is this one here. This is the normal dice recorder, which is this one here. All right. The main score, which is 0 up there. I just showed you the base value of the sorry. I want to show you again. Let me scroll up. You can see right here the main score for the first value, you can see 0. For the second value, you can see 0. So when the first player is playing, the main score, which is 0 now for this particular one, will be in action, and it will be added to the dice score recorder. And then when you click on the hold button, all right, I have an event listener there. When you click on the hold button, it brings the value down, and then the main score will now be equal to the new value of the main score will now be equal to the new value of the main score after it has added itself to the dice score recorder. All right, and then when the second player is in action, this particular main score takes action. All right, I specified it differently, but in most of the video you will see out there they are working in an array, so that did not work for me. And then this is how I did it. All right, and it worked for me perfectly. It worked for me immediately. It took me a number of times, so I know most people might be having the same problem I had, and that's why I had to create this video. All right, so after I did that worked. So I had a problem when I tried to determine the winner. All right, so what I did was that I just used a function, and then I put in the criteria for the winner, noting the main score and the main scores for the two players. Then I said for if the main score is, I just use 20 as the winning score. If the main score is greater than or equal to 20, then that player will be the winner. But if the other main score is greater than or equal to 20, then that player is the winner. So just want you to you can equally pause the screen and copy this code and put it into your code and see if it works for you. All right, you can pause the screen at any point, copy this. As you can see, I brought this hold button. All right, I brought it entirely out of the event listener function for the event listener for the roll dice. You can see the roll dice event listener here. All right, you can see it has its own function. Normally, you know that the roll dice, the event listener has its own callback function. You can see right here the hold button function, or the hold button parameter, is entirely out of that function. All right, so take note of this, and then you can try this out. You can see my game right here. I'm going to play it for some time, and then let's try to get a winner. Player 1 is playing now. I'm going to hold, and then it moves to the next side. Player 2, I'm going to hold, moves to the next side. 1, it moves to the next side. I'm going to hold, moves to the next side. I'm going to hold, right? I'm going to hold. Okay, there you have it. You can see we have a winner because this number is now greater than 20. All right, so try this out, and then if it works for you, you can get over the problem. But if this video is helpful, try to give this video a thumbs up, and then subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day.